Welcome to MBPI Real Estate News. This is Todd Whiting from Metro Boston Real Estate News, and today we're interviewing Rob Donahue from Sure Thing Home Inspections down in Beaufort, Georgia. How you doing today, Rob?
Good, Todd. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Why don't you take a few seconds and tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, and what's going on with you today?
Well, I'll be glad to, Todd. Well, first of all, I originated from South Boston, Massachusetts, actually the city of Brockton of Champions. I was born and raised there. And then in 1995, in my time up there, I was a real estate agent, did that for 7 years, and then relocated here to Atlanta, Georgia in 95. And from there, I became building code certified, do home inspections in 1996. That time met my wife, Rosemary, and we had two wonderful children, one married who's a teacher and another one who is still in high school. And so I've been enjoying the warm weather and doing inspections here versus up in that snow-ridden northeast that you're still in, Todd.
All right. Well, that brings us to our next question, which is, how long have you been doing home inspections? And what changes have you seen since you started?
Well, that's a good question. We started in 96. We're just starting our 21st year in business here. And there had been a lot of changes from the beginning. When I first located to start my business here was a lot of new construction. And new construction was a big part of our business in Atlanta with all the companies moving and relocating down to this area. One of the things that we've also noticed too is needing more customer service. I'm seeing that the buyers are just wanting to be educated more now than ever. Before they would just say, well, send us the report. Now they're like, well, when can we come out? We want to meet with you. And can you show us a little bit about the home? So we're seeing that an influx, especially with first-time home buyers, walking them through, educating them about the inspection process, the real estate process, and just making sure they're not buying a money pit.
So does your state have licensing?
Well, we don't have any state licensing, but to do new construction, you have to be building code certified, which we did our cable 1 and 2 family dwelling certification back in 98. Myself and all my inspectors also NACHI certified with the National Association of Home Inspectors. So we do have to hold a certification and do 24 hours of continuing ed. Our inspectors are also certified in mold and radon testing.
Cool. So I'm a buyer. I just moved to the Atlanta, Georgia area, and I'm looking to buy a home. Why should I hire your company as opposed to one of the dozens of others that are out there?
Well, I think one of the reasons being is that we really do take care of the customer. Going back to what I said earlier, we're one of the few companies that invite the buyers to come out to the inspection. What we mean by that, if we're going to be there at 9 o'clock, we want you there at 9 o'clock, and we will show you the exterior, the interior, the draining exterior. We show you everything you need to know. And from different parts of the country, there's weather elements that you need to be concerned about, and that's the education process. So a lot of humidity, a lot of dampness and heat down here in the south, so we know mold is an issue. Also here we have radon. We're probably 15 miles southwest of one of the biggest granite rocks there is, Stone Mountain. And as you come off the Stone Mountain area, you'd be surprised. Yeah, we do have radon in the ground. Yeah. And a lot of times people come from our parts of the country, they don't understand it. So it's not really trying to sell them onto another service, it's educating them, you need to take care of this now because when you buy it, you own it. And that's usually the approach that we take.
So the real estate market has changed a lot since we started in it.
Yeah, it has.
Going forward in the future, do you see any significant changes in the real estate market? Do you see anything that's going to be a game changer in the way real estate is sold?
That's a great question, Todd. I'll tell you one of the things too, even though it's a seller's market where we are right now, that we got more buyers and we have homes for sale, condition is getting to be more and more of an issue. 5-6 years ago, back when the bubble burst, when everything was a foreclosure, people were willing to buy a home low cost. They didn't really care much about the condition. But today, they don't want to do any repairs. They want to move in and set their, the luggage and the family goods and items in the home. So what we're seeing a trend also is people getting the home prepared and ready prior to putting it on the market. That pre-inspection, we call it a certified move-in ready inspection, that we're doing more and more of, because that way the seller's able to sell it quicker, faster, and for less headaches. But key is for more money. And people are calling up saying, how can I get it ready? How can I move out without there being any callbacks or headaches from the buyers?
One thing that's always bothered me is the contractor that gets called in to do a repair a year after the inspection, and his initial response is always, "Oh, your home inspector should have caught this." How do you deal with that issue?
Well, let's just say, the last one in is usually the one that's going to say, well, someone else should have done it. We're used to being backed over by a school bus here. But here's the issue. We try to tell our clients, we have a standard of practice. And it also depends what items that was looked at and how it was looked at and what condition was it in at the time that we looked at it. So we do get those callbacks, and we examine it. We send out notification to say, okay, when did it happen? Who notified it? Was it checked prior to moving into the home, like the walkthrough? And we do the examinations. One of the things we educate our clients is the best thing you can do is, again, we're taking a snapshot of the home like you guys do, and we can only do a visual inspection. I tell my clients it's like going to get a physical. The doctor's going to check your pulse, do the normal stuff on the outside, but if you see something that may be, something of a serious issue like ear infections or nosebleed, they'll send you to a specialist for that. And that's really what a home inspection is. We're doing the basics, and if there's issues, they should go out to a specialist to look at. So, one of the best investments any buyer, whether new, 1 year or 20 years old, is to get a home warranty that kind of help cover and protect the home for up to that year. So, last man in theory doesn't always know what the last person before them was doing.
Do you ever find that the condition that the contractor is there for is something that you did actually call out in the report?
Yeah, more than once. And, when they look at other things, it's like, well, they're there to install something or add an outlet or put something into the wall and open it up, and they find other damage. And they say, well, your inspector should have caught that. Well, sometimes they don't realize they're catching it because they're doing something more invasive that we did. So how could we have looked at that?
So how do you think, we've actually asked that one. Let's move on. So what's the best part about your job? And conversely, what do you like the least?
Well, we love what we do here. And I've loved doing home inspection. That's why I've stuck with it as a career for 21 years. And to the point where we, like yourselves, have gathered so much knowledge about what we have learned, the best thing we can do is share it and pay it forward. So that's one of the reasons I brought more people into my company. We want to help people and educate them about this process. It's very stressful. It's not something that they'll do, 3-4 times in their life, maybe once or twice, 3 if they're lucky. This is something that we do every day. We've done thousands and thousands of home inspections, and being able to put a smile on someone's face. Not that everything is perfect, but to get that smile from them when they realize, wow, you are there to help. There's a way we can help fix things, because there are going to be some defects. And the beauty of it is getting that call saying, who do we know that we like, know, and trust, that we can provide that service to the home buyer to make that their house turn into a home. So it's just seeing that satisfaction. Sometimes it's not always the first home that we inspect that they fall in love with, end up being the second and third. And, hearing them say, we learned so much in the process, you made it actually easier for us.
All right. Well, as we get to the end, is there anything you think I should have asked you and that I haven't asked you?
Pretty much. What we do is a service for customers. We're helping educate not only buyers, but sellers and real estate agents. We're as good as we can be with the situation that we have in hand. We want to make sure that, it's a great process. We want to educate them. I mean, everything that we do, including our mold and radon in our 5-star package, we want to make sure that when you're purchasing this home, it's everything that you hoped and dreamed of. And if not, how can we take care of it? I mean, we're sort of like the old days, the advertisement, the shall answer man. You asked them the question and they would give you the answer. And that's sometimes how we feel. We just want to make sure we're helping people. That's what we love and enjoy most about what we do here in the Atlanta area for home inspections.
Oh, Rob, thank you very much for agreeing to sit down and talk to me. I hope we can have a conversation in the future of other issues that are facing us in real estate. Until then, this is Todd Whiting from MBPI Real Estate News, hoping everyone has a great day. Thank you for joining us on MBPI Real Estate News.